Hello friends, the crypto markets continue to suffer with absolutely everything in the red. In this video, we'll try to unravel why the markets are falling and how to prepare for what's coming. If you want to know the best strategy in times like these, not according to myself, but based on facts and data, then this video is probably for you. My name is George, and if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon and give us a thumbs up. Now let's dive right into it. The crypto industry saw a significant drop in the last 24 hours, with the total market cap falling to around 3 trillion, taking a hit of roughly $270 billion in a single day. I wish I could say there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but unfortunately right now there isn't a single cryptocurrency in the top 100 showing growth, according to CoinGecko. Let's start with Bitcoin though. Currently, its price is barely holding above $89,000, recording a loss of over 6% in the past 24 hours, which is also affecting its weekly performance, now down by around 5.6%. The volatility remains quite high, so only God knows what the price will be when you're watching this video. But unless it's 100K, the situation is clearly not great. Liquidations, on the other hand, during the same period, rose to over $1.2 billion. And if you think you're having a bad day, let me share this. The largest single liquidation was worth 20 million American dollars. To add more salt to the wound, as you can see, the situation is even more tragic with altcoins. Everything is down by over 10%, so I won't even bother listing them. That's the state of the market right now. Now, in this next bit, we will try to dig into what's happening and why the markets are falling as much as they are. It seems our little industry is heavily correlated with traditional markets, which have also been declining over the past few days. The S&P 500, for example, is down over 2% in the last 5 days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is roughly the same, and the Nasdaq Composite Index is down by about 4%, and so on. It looks like the markets are very seriously worried about the geopolitical whirlwind brewing around the war between Ukraine and Russia and the new stance of the US on the matter. It appears that Donald Trump, who has repeatedly stated that he would stop the war before being elected, and that this war would never have happened in the first place if he were a president instead of Joe Biden, well, he is now slowly revealing his positions. Actually, there is nothing slow about it. Trump is going hard on Ukraine and Zelensky, openly calling him a dictator, a failed comedian, and so on, while at the same time refusing to call President Vladimir Putin a dictator and even threatening to stop supporting Ukraine and demand the money given by the Biden administration back. Now, we will not be getting into political details. That's not the purpose of this channel, and I definitely don't claim to be competent enough to comment on the topic in detail. However, what matters here is that instead of improving, the situation seems to be escalating. The tensions between Europe and the US, between Ukraine and Russia, and between Europe and Russia are growing. There is even talk of a possible US withdrawal, which will become clearer in light of the potential tariffs that President Trump wants to impose. And the markets are clearly not liking any of this. Still, gold keeps hitting new highs in value, and as you probably know, for gold to rise, things need to be pretty unpleasant. After yesterday's meeting between Trump and President Macron, during which the two had glaring disagreements on Ukraine, the situation got even more complicated. There is no specific isolated reason for the decline in crypto markets. It's simply that the macro environment is very uncertain and risk assets such as Bitcoin and by extension all of the altcoins are just suffering. Now that we've clarified that, let's see how to prepare. Is it time to buy? Is this the end of the bull market? I know these are the questions most people are asking, but I also believe it's very important to keep the big picture in mind. Fundamentally, at least for Bitcoin, nothing has changed. From this specific perspective, such corrections are completely natural. But what should we do? Well, some time ago, I came across a study comparing the effectiveness of buying Bitcoin during such drops versus simply accumulating it using the so-called traditional dollar cost averaging or a DCA method, which means to invest equal amounts at regular intervals regardless of the asset's current price. I believe the findings will be very interesting to you guys. In the article called Does the Buy the Dip Strategy Work for Bitcoin? Author Jesse Kramer, and no, he is definitely not related to the other Kramer whom I wouldn't use for anything else except as a counter indicator. So Jesse Kramer analyzes the effectiveness of this investment tactic when applied to Bitcoin. Traditionally, the buy the dip strategy involves waiting for the price to drop before purchasing, with the goal of gaining more value for the same amount of money. The author compares this strategy with the dollar cost averaging method, where, as we explained and as you probably already know, the investor allocates a fixed amount at regular intervals, regardless of the asset's price. Kramer conducts an analysis using historical Bitcoin price data from May 2013 until the date of when the article was published in 2021. He examines different buy the dip scenarios, including waiting for drops of varying percentages. For example, a drop of over 5%, 10%, or even over 25%, and compares the results with those of the DCA strategy. The results show that the buy the dip strategy often leads to a lower overall portfolio value compared to DCA. This is because the market often continues to rise without providing significant dips to buy, meaning that waiting can lead to missed profit opportunities. But what does this tell us? Well, it's pretty simple. If you believe that Bitcoin's price will continue rising in the long term, such market movements should make you happy because they allow you to average down your position instead of averaging it up. What could be better than this? Well, of course, no one likes to see their portfolio shrink, but this is a part of the game. What goes up must come down sooner or later. Smarter people than me have said this. So, as I've said many times before, just spot and chew. Do not mess around with nonsense. Don't look for the big hit because the likelihood of getting burned is pretty higher than winning, and focus on the bigger picture. Well, that's it from us, friends. I hope that I've brought a little bit of optimism to your day and that you have probably learned something new. We'll see you again tomorrow, and until then, you have a great day.